94 large wildfires are burning uncontained across the United States this morning. The country is at National Preparedness Level 5, the highest level that exists. 28,700 people are assigned to those fires. Yesterday, 97 new fires started nationwide. They burned 46,000 acres between them. 42,000 of those acres were in 3 states: Utah, Nevada, and Idaho. 7 fires out of 97 took 90% of the ground. Since the 1st of January, more than 5,400,000 acres have burned in this country. The 10-year average for the 5th of August is 3,800,000. This season is running at 143% of normal. Fire season runs through October. This is the national picture for Wednesday, the 5th of August. The figures come from the Morning Situation Report out of Boise and from incident commanders in 7 states. Start in Washington and Oregon. 49 of the 94 uncontained large fires in this country are burning in those 2 states. 18,572 personnel are assigned there. That is close to 2/3 of every wildland firefighter working in America today. 18 incident management teams are committed to the Northwest. One more is a National Incident Management Organization team, a small federal unit sent to the hardest assignments. The Sinlahekin Fire is burning 1 mile west of Tonasket, Washington. It gained 14,144 acres in 1 day and now covers 117,000 acres. Containment stands at 9%. Fire managers report crowning, group torching, and long-range spotting. Crowning means the fire is moving through the tops of the trees. Long-range spotting means embers are starting new fires ahead of the main front. Numerous residences and communication infrastructure are threatened. Evacuations, area closures, road and trail closures are in effect. 30 miles northwest of Leavenworth, the Little Giant Fire gained 11,507 acres yesterday. It has reached 70,853 acres with 0 containment. 1,506 people are assigned. 2 fires, 25,000 acres in a single day. The United States has asked for help from outside the country. A 15-member incident management team from Australia and New Zealand is assigned to fires in the Northwest. 59 fire line management personnel from those 2 countries are working alongside them. 2 military C-130 air tankers from the Air Force Reserve are stationed at Klamath Falls, Oregon. 2 more from the Wyoming and California Air National Guard are flying out of Redding, California. 3 fires are burning at the edge of Spokane, Washington. All 3 started on Saturday, the 1st of August. None of them is contained this morning. The Old Trails Fire is 3 miles west of the city. 3,621 acres, 570 structures destroyed. The Autumn Lane Fire is 7 miles northwest. 5,869 acres, and it gained 266 of them yesterday. 80 structures destroyed. The Fairview Fire is 2 miles northeast. 1,056 acres, 57 structures destroyed. 707 buildings across the 3. 67,000 people ordered out of their neighborhoods. Spokane is a city of 230,000. On Monday, the Spokane County Sheriff's Office arrested a 37-year-old man in connection with the Old Trails Fire. He is Aaron Farinacci, and he is suspected of first-degree arson. He appeared in Spokane County Superior Court on Tuesday, held on $1 million bail. He entered no plea. His arraignment is set for Thursday, and in court filings, he denies starting the fire and denies being in the area. The causes of the Autumn Lane and Fairview fires are still under investigation. On Tuesday morning, the president approved an emergency declaration for Washington state. It covers Chelan, Ferry, Okanagan, Spokane, Stevens, and Yakima counties, and 3 tribal nations. The federal government pays 75% of eligible costs. The state also asked for help with debris removal. That request was not granted. 700 buildings burned. 67,000 people left in an afternoon. Everyone got out. No injuries have been confirmed on any of the 3 fires. On Tuesday, the sheriff's office reported that all 14 people listed as unaccounted for had been found safe. More than 200 missing person reports have been checked and cleared. The animals came out of Spokane with the people, and that became its own operation. The Spokane County Fair and Expo Center is taking evacuated livestock, pets, and recreational vehicles. The address is 404 North Havana Street in Spokane Valley. enter through the Red Gate off Broadway Avenue and bring carriers for dogs and cats. As of Tuesday, the county reported 198 animals on the grounds. A large group of horses arrived from Pleasant Valley Stables, northeast of the city, after fire reached some of the buildings there. Volunteers described the horses calling to each other through the night in unfamiliar stalls. One of them is a horse named Bubbles. His owner, Lou Hill, was photographed walking him outside the barns on Sunday morning. She had written her phone number on his hoof in permanent marker. She told the reporter it was there in case they had to open the gate and let the horses go. The stables are being run by the Humane Evacuation Animal Rescue Team. Their incident commander, Allison Zimmerman, said the animals can stay until the fires are no longer a threat. After that, the group will look for homes for the ones whose owners lost theirs. The fairgrounds have received more cat and dog food than they can use. What they need now is feed for horses and livestock. Spock Animal at 710 North Napa Street is boarding displaced pets. County Emergency Management asked people not to bring personal donations to shelters or to the Incident Command Post. Those sites cannot store them. Spokane Public Schools is running a free drop-in camp at Shadle Park High School. It takes children age 4 and up from 11 in the morning until 3 in the afternoon. Subscribe if you want this every morning. 200 miles north, evacuees from the Sinlahekin fire are sheltering at the Community Cultural Center at 411 Western Avenue in Tonasket. Recreational vehicles and livestock go to the Tonasket Rodeo Grounds. In Weiser, Idaho, the Red Cross shelter is the Vendome Event Center on State Street. Large animals go to the Weiser Valley Roundup Rodeo Grounds on West 9th. Write those down if you are anywhere near those towns. 90% of the ground that burned in America yesterday burned in the Great Basin. Utah, Nevada, and Idaho are managed as one firefighting region, and that region is at preparedness level 4 out of 5. 17 large fires are burning there across more than 575,000 acres. The Tartar fire is north of Weiser, Idaho. It gained 30,415 acres in a single day and now stands at 138,000 acres. That is the largest one-day growth of any fire in the country. Containment is 13%. Over the weekend, that fire ran roughly 80,000 acres in one night and moved toward the town. Highway 95 was closed. Level 3 orders reached the neighborhoods north of Weiser High School. In central Utah, the Widemouth Two Fire has passed 84,000 acres with zero containment. It gained 16,218 acres yesterday. 4 structures have been lost. Nearly 500 people are assigned. That fire crossed a containment line south of Kanosh on Saturday night and ran 9 miles north along the forest boundary. The Forest Service pulled crews back from the front of it. In their statement, no amount of resources would have stopped that forward progression. The Millard County Sheriff has confirmed the loss of more than 100 head of cattle on that fire. Statewide, the number is larger. The Utah Department of Agriculture and Food estimates 3,000 to 4,000 cows and several thousand sheep affected this season. Burned rangeland has to be reseeded before it can be grazed again, and in some places that takes years. The Paiute Indian Tribe of Utah declared a state of emergency for the Kanosh Band Reservation at 20 past 4 on Sunday morning. Also in Utah, the Black Canyon Fire east of Ephraim gained 1,311 acres yesterday. It stands at 2,111 acres with no containment. On Saturday morning, it was mapped at 43. In Nevada, the Wildfire is burning 6 miles south of Ely with zero containment and extreme fire behavior. A California incident team is mobilizing to it. The Mouse Meadow Fire is burning on the Nellis Air Force Base range. 38,000 acres, no containment, evacuations in effect. The most destructive fire in the country this year is not in the West Coast states. The Aspen Acres Fire burned 20 miles southwest of Pueblo, Colorado. 101,961 acres, 915 structures destroyed, $96 million in suppression costs, the highest of any fire on the national report. Command of that fire transfers back to the local unit today. Containment is 71%, and it has not grown in a day. Cost does not track acreage. 2 Oregon fires show it. The East Evans Creek Road Fire near Rogue River burned 15,580 acres and destroyed 17 structures. Cost to date, $65 million. The Big Grass Fire southwest of Jordan Valley burned 346,000 acres, more than 20 times as much ground. Cost to date, $18 million. The difference is where the fire is. Big Grass is burning open range. East Evans Creek Road is burning in the Rogue Valley, where the houses are. The salmon fire in the Umatilla National Forest has burned 1,426 acres. Cost to date, $37 million. That works out to more than $25,000 an acre, and the fire is 79% contained. The Roe Creek Complex south of Fossil, Oregon, has burned 325,000 acres at 57% contained. 25 structures lost, $53 million spent, 1,723 people assigned. On the Colville Reservation in Washington, the Kaiser Canyon Fire has burned 136,000 acres and destroyed 44 structures, $31 million. California has burned 226,000 acres this year. Utah alone has burned more than twice that. 5 uncontained large fires are burning in California this morning, in a state that has 3,188 people on the line. Utah has 678. California puts 5 times the crews on a third of the ground because California fires start where people live. The state is spending most of its command capacity somewhere else. California incident management teams are running the 3 fires at Spokane. Another is on the Sinlahican, another on the Little Giant. 3 more are on fires in Oregon, at Grasshopper, at Big Grass, and at Castle. 1 is mobilizing to Nevada. 8 California teams working outside California, inside the state, 1. The first time a California state team has ever been activated to Washington happened last Friday. California is not quiet everywhere. The Gann Fire started southeast of Valley Springs and gained 4,695 acres yesterday, with no containment. 1,623 people were assigned to it in a single day. The day before, there were none. 23 new fires were reported in Southern California yesterday, more than any other region in the country. Those fires burned 1,561 acres. Southern California added 1,195 people to the line in a single day. No other region in the country moved that many. Northern California released 169. The fires are not only in the West. 6 large fires are burning on the Superior National Forest in northern Minnesota in the Boundary Waters Canoe Country. 1 incident management team is running 5 of them. The Bear Trap Fire is the largest at 29,778 acres, 40% contained. The Thumb Fire has burned 17,691 acres at 57%. The Sioux Fire, 20 miles northwest of Ely, has evacuations in effect. So does the Thumb. Communication infrastructure is threatened across the group. The Wolfpack Fire gained 513 acres yesterday and stands at 23% contained. The Camp Fire, 5 miles north of Winton, is at 64%. Fire behavior across the group is minimal, with flanking, backing, and isolated torching. Temperatures in the region are below average. The fuels are dry from drought regardless. The eastern area is at preparedness level 2. No new fires were reported there yesterday at all. The forecast for today comes from the Predictive Services Desk at the National Interagency Fire Center. West winds of 12 to 20 miles an hour will develop along the Sierra Front and across the Central Great Basin. Gusts reach 30. Relative humidity in that corridor drops to between 4 and 10%. Very low humidity, 4 to 15%, covers a much wider area. That band runs from California through the inland Northwest and into the northern Rockies. Temperatures near 100 degrees are expected in the Willamette Valley today. Gusty east winds up to 30 miles an hour are expected in the Columbia Gorge this morning, weakening in the afternoon. A red flag warning is in effect there until 8 tonight. Overnight recovery is the number the crews watch. Humidity is supposed to climb after dark and give the fuels a rest. Tonight, it is forecast to stay below 30% on most ridges and mid-slopes across the west. Scattered thunderstorms will develop in southeast Arizona. Isolated dry thunderstorms are possible from northern New Mexico into southern Colorado. Dry thunderstorms bring lightning without rain. On ground this dry, that is how new fires start. Temperatures stay hot across the southern half of the west today. The northern half is running above normal as well. Outside fire country, the map looks different. The southern plains are under extreme heat near 105 degrees, with breezy south winds and low humidity. Showers and thunderstorms are moving from the central plains into the Great Lakes along a cold front. isolated storms run from the Appalachians to the East Coast. Florida is getting scattered thunderstorms, which brings short-term relief to the drought there. None of that moisture reaches the west. It is locked east of the Mississippi. Alaska is the one region in the country with nothing to report. 0 large fires, 0 acres burned yesterday. Preparedness level 1, the bottom of the scale. 41,000 acres have burned there all year. Eastern Alaska stays above normal today and dry through the weekend. Looking ahead, the Weather Service office in Spokane has flagged Friday and Saturday. Temperatures between 90 and 100 degrees, very low humidity, and gusty wind. Forecasters wrote that they may be tracking smoke from new fast-moving fires again by the weekend. Smoke is the widest it has been all season. On Tuesday, it reached the surface on both sides of the Cascade Crest, east and west. Air quality alerts are running across central and eastern Washington and North Idaho. In Spokane County, the alert continues until further notice, and the forecast holds it at unhealthy through today. Relief arrives Thursday for the west side. The flow turns back in off the ocean, the smoke pushes east, and temperatures drop. In the Willamette Valley, Friday should come in around the mid-80s. East of the mountains, that same wind is the problem. The Washington Smoke Office expects sustained winds of 15 to 20 miles an hour Friday and Saturday. Gusts between 35 and 45 over very low humidity. Aircraft are grounded every time a civilian drone enters restricted airspace over a fire. There were 26 such incursions over the Spokane fires on Sunday alone. 4 of the drones flew directly into the path of firefighting aircraft. 35 aircraft are assigned to those fires. Penalties run to $100,000. Where the country stands tonight? 94 large fires uncontained, 133 active incidents, 28,700 people on the line, 1,252 more than yesterday. 3 large fires were contained yesterday. 3 new ones took their place. The crews are moving toward the Great Basin. That region added 308 people yesterday. The Northwest added 131. The Rocky Mountain region released 213 as Aspen Acres winds down. More than 5,400,000 acres burned since January, 143% of the 10-year average, with 2 months of season left. The number of fires tells a different story than the acreage. 45,184 fires have started this year. That is 128% of average. The acres are at 143%. The fires are not just more frequent this year, they are getting bigger once they start. 3,260,000 acres are inside the perimeters of fires still burning right now. State and local agencies have carried the largest share of the year, 2,800,000 acres under their protection. The Bureau of Land Management has 1,400,000. The Forest Service, 873,000. The southern area has recorded 23,000 fires this year, more than any other region in the country. Almost none of them made the news. 49 of those 94 fires are in Washington and Oregon. 90% of yesterday's new acreage was in Utah, Nevada, and Idaho. If your county gives you an evacuation order, go while the road is open. Look up your evacuation zone today rather than the day you need it. Keep drones on the ground so the tankers can fly. Thanks to the crews out there, including the 15 who came from Australia and New Zealand and are working the Northwest tonight. Back tomorrow with the morning numbers.